and let's see what we can make happen. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
I think y'all show speaks for itself. And how long y'all been going with your show, Ness?
So I've been doing it live for 11 years now.
God damn.
Danny
you
Garcia.
opened up going live?
Yes. I was one of the first to take my podcast to YouTube because I felt like video was the wave.
Right.
And eventually it became the wave. So
Right.
yeah, I've been doing it for a while. My first interview was Danny and Gabe Rosado on the podcast, like the first, so I called it a Philly special. So yeah, 11 years ago.
Sweet.
And it's crazy, man, because I've gotten to see careers like yours. I mean, Earl Spence from the beginning, you know, Danny, just so many fighters, you know. And I know that before you guys, there was a lot of boxing is dead and, you know, fighters don't know how to manage their money. And it seems like, you know, post Al and everything, like, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2010 moving forward, fighters from the 2010 moving forward era,
Yeah.
you guys are doing very well. Like, you know, I seen Julian post not too long ago, and he's not a champion anymore, but he posted how happy he was with his real estate and the smart moves that he made. And I know Quillen is doing fine post boxing, and I'm sure you're doing fine post boxing. And there's so many when that wasn't the story.
No, it wasn't.
Few
the
years
story.
back.
It wasn't. And I always kind of felt like it definitely was my responsibility at some capacity to kind of change the persona of the quote unquote average fighter or the boxers out there that we get our money, we turn it into cash real quick, and we go out and buy things straight cash, you know. And I think that fighters, I've been saying this for a very long time now, fighters we're more educated than we have ever been.
Yes.
We're more ambitious than we've ever been. And I think for a long time, I think this too, I think the world can give fighters much more now than they could have given back in the past. I think in the past it was you're just a boxer and that's it. I think now there's just so many things that we're assessed that are at our disposal now that it's almost like we can't help but become anything other than a fighter now, a voice or a face on TV, or you know, I know a lot of fighters that get into real estate. You mentioned J-Rock, and I know I had a conversation with J-Rock. He said every time I fight, I go get a house, and I'm like, dang, that's how you're supposed to do it, you know. Same thing with Terrence Crawford. The only thing he want to talk to me about is real estate. He want to talk so much real estate. I'm like, yo, slow down, man. I'm not interested in real estate.
I heard Crawford owns a whole street.
Yeah.
Like all the houses.
He was at my house giving me game.
Yeah.
And he wanted a part of everything. And the one thing also, you know, I don't know how everybody camp and everybody team is, but at the end of the day, Sean didn't have like a whole team entourage of people that depend on Sean Porter. I got my own plumbing company, other guys at work, Carson, Sean, they both got their own thing. It's not that, hey, Sean, hey man, my bills are due. I need some da-da-da-da-da. It's a little different now where, you know, back in the days, it was like when my man eat, you eat. And if he don't eat, I don't eat.
And I think that kind of that wave has shifted too, where fighters were known to have entourages, and if you didn't have an entourage, you really weren't the itch. You know what I mean? And I think fighters are starting to understand now, like, I can't feed your family and my family. I got to be more concerned with my family, you know?
Yeah, no, everybody definitely got to contribute. Sean, I got to ask, 105 episodes now, how you liking it?
Love it, man. I love it. Straight up. I love it. I do the best I can to kind of just, for the sake of words, stay in my lane, do what I feel like I do well, and then to just allow my other guys to do what they do well, you know? And then as everybody knows right now, it's primarily me and Ant. So it's like today, like we opened up the show and Ant was the one talking. You know, I'm like, oh, let's get our plugs in, let's do this and do that. But I'm not gonna step on his toes and not allow him to be the talker that he is. I'm a thinker, you know what I mean? So while y'all talking and all that kind of stuff, I'm sitting here and I'm digesting everything that's being said, and I'm figuring out what the best thing to say is, you know. So even with, like, I do my notes and stuff like that. Like I
was looking at your notes, and I want to ask, like, the way that you have it set up, however it is that it's set up, is that something that you have done on your own, something that you found that works for you, something that you've picked up from some of the other guys like Amar Krieger or Bernardo Suna that you've worked alongside with? how does Sean gather his notes?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. When I came into the game, it was just watch and learn. And everybody was telling me, be yourself, be more of yourself, more. Yeah, like that. And I was like, okay, let me be myself, but then let me add what they do well to my game and just try to make it even better. So I don't go on TV without notes, and I learned that with the notes, I just flow. I'm much more fluent, and I'm able to really convey what I feel needs to be said in them points and times. Like this stuff right here is just quick notes on the fights that we had this weekend, stuff that I don't want to forget. You know,
for sure.
We can't highlight the entire show and show the highlights and all that kind of stuff. So,
which is crazy. As a fighter that's now commentating, you have your own platform. Do you find it? For me, I think disrespectful, because every other content creator, like if I was, my channel was focused on movies, I can show movie clips and tell you, hey, you know, the new Saw 5.
right.
As a commentator who was a former fighter, you can't even put your Showtime highlights without getting the green light from Showtime.
It's unreal.
It is.
Especially for myself. I'm trying to do some things, and I have to talk to ESPN. I have to talk to Showtime. I have to talk to Showbox. I have to talk to CBS. Like all of these different entities just to get me. You know, so how smart fighters are now, and the kind of the barriers that we've broken through, and the things that we're able to show people that we can do now that at one point in time they never would have considered at all. But you go back to all that, and it's like, hey, we haven't broken the business barrier of how can I own the rights to my fights? How can I make sure that every time my fight gets shown on TV, something is going into my banking account?
Which is something that the musicians learned a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like everybody wanted their royalties
as well. You know,
yeah, they had to go through it.
Yeah,
in order to know.
And it's like
I want my masters.
Boxing is 20 to 30 years behind everything. 10 to 15 years behind every sport.
That's why it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, still.
That's why. Like, I mean, look at Triller. Like, there's really people about to fight on a new Triller card when it was just announced that the old Triller card still didn't get paid.
People still fighting?
No, you don't know about this new October show about to happen?
Oh man,
I thought they was done. I thought they wrapped it up.
No, man.
Yeah, I'm hearing they still owe people money from a couple months back.
I heard that too.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content, or right here on our YouTube members.